In preparation for the top, I went ahead and I drilled some holes for mounting the top. I drilled 4 holes here in the corners. I'm going to do the same thing as I did with the shelf. I'm going to put a pretty long screw all the way up through both tubes and into the top, and it's going to secure this whole thing together. I can kind of feel when I'm lifting this up, it's, I don't know, just having it glued right here is not, I don't know, it just doesn't feel that strong. But once I put the 4 screws all the way in there and it's going to clamp that together, I think that'll be good. Also, I'm going to put some other screws up through here like I did here. I drilled a hole and I put a countersink, and that'll go up and keep the top from kind of flexing a little bit. I started laying out the top. It's kind of a small top. Now that I kind of draw it out, I guess the table isn't really that big either. So it I pictured it being much bigger in my head, but when I'm starting to draw it out, it's kind of smallish. This is sort of how it's going to look. And the next thing I need to do is kind of watch the This Old House video on how you do an ellipse with the string and the 2 nails method. And Tom Silva he's so great. He's so knowledgeable about all kinds of stuff, and he sort of shows them how you would do an ellipse with using that method. So I got to go to kind of review that. I might show a screenshot here of him doing that, and then I'll have to school myself up a little bit and come right back. I watched the video, and then I made myself a little shoulder on my pencil with the grinder to give the string something. And I'm not sure that I have the right idea here. So what I'm going to do is maybe do, I don't know, like 6 inches down here to make a mark for my pencil. Now, the one thing that I did is I have the good side under, and I'm doing all of this, and I'm going to hammer the nails in. This will be on the underside of it, and this underside will be the top side. And why I did that is because when I used the jigsaw to cut out the shelf, I noticed that the jigsaw had a nice new blade in it. When I cut it out, the underside looked real nice, and it cut real nice. So I'm not worried about any split out or anything like that. So if I just do, I don't know, I'm just going to guess like 6 inches. We just do 6 inches from each side. And then, I don't know, put my nail there. And I guess I'll get some nails and nail it in and give it a whirl. I don't know, I kind of think I'm missing something here. Just enough to hold it in place. I get the funny feeling that I'm missing something here. So I tighten it on there. And then what he said is, you bring this out to here. And then you put you tie it around like that. So then he's going to start here. I put my pencil in the little loop there. And if I brought it around here, see, that doesn't go over here. That's what I'm missing. That's what I'm missing. Okay. Let me stop it and think about this. So I'm getting quite a few holes on here. I'm sure that there's a way to figure out where the center of this is supposed to be. I just don't really know how to do that, so I'm kind of having to do this. Wow, I think that's about as close as I'm going to get. Okay, here goes nothing. Okay, after using the eraser quite a bit and trying to get my pressure just right, I think I have a pretty good ellipse around there. It's kind of smooth, and I think I'm good to go. But I'm sort of getting the feeling like it's a little more art than it is science with this method. It's a little bit more like, just as long as the curve kind of, you know, is smooth and follows, it's probably all right. I mean, there's no reason that this has to be the exact size, other than that's what it calls for. Let's put the top, or let's put the base on the top and kind of see how our sizing looks. Let's see if this is anywhere in the ballpark of being. So it really looks like these sides are really close here. I'm gonna check the picture. Yeah, I guess that's how it kind of looks. It's a small coffee table. Wow, now that I see it, I'm not sure how it's gonna look there. It's pretty small. Looking at how small this top is, I'm thinking about calling an audible at the line and maybe making it a couple inches bigger. Alright, so I took it inside and set it up in front of the futon, and the size actually looks pretty good. So you make it 2 inches bigger. Maybe I make it 1 inch bigger all the way around. Right? 1 inch bigger all the way around? Okay, let me just move all of these marks out 1 inch. So if I move this out 1 inch, it doesn't correspond to moving that out 1 inch. I almost have to move my nails back to the original spot. So after spending far too much time on this, I probably spent about an hour. What I did is I made it 1 inch bigger all the way around, so it's going to be 2 inches longer and 2 inches wider, and I think that's going to be a little bit better. The tabletop seemed to really like grab the edge of this top instead of kind of hanging over a little bit. It was like really right up against it, and I didn't really like that. I guess I can always cut it smaller. Once I cut this out, I can put it up there and see how it looks. Okay. I'm not sure if that's any good, but I did it. Well, I think I definitely need to get the sander out and kind of do maybe the belt sander, you know? Doing some kind of smooth sanding, but I think that looks pretty good. Cool. Sweet. I think that looks pretty good. I like the size too. You can see I'm kind of wavy on there, but I think if I get the belt sander out and kind of try to smooth it out a bit, I think it might be okay. A little time with the belt sander, and I kind of belt sanded all the way around it, kind of got it flat. Then I ran the round over from the router, and that's the top. And these bags of salt really work good. And now I'm just going to round over the underside to match, so it'll be kind of a full radius. These work great. Now that is not going anywhere. And then I'll just get my router and my hearing protection and eye protection, and away we go. You just kind of go like this, and that gives me a full round over, showing all the plies. I'll just do this by hand, and I think that looks great. I'm starting on the finish for the top, and as you can see, I've moved to the upstairs guest bedroom. The garage right now is about in the 40s, about 45 degrees in the garage, which is just too cold for doing any kind of finish. Whenever you want to do some finish, you kind of want your temperature to be kind of room temperature, somewhere between 65 and 80. I don't really like to put any finish if it's below like 65 or over 80. It just seems like when I do that, the finish comes out kind of funky. I know when it's too cold, the polyurethane is thick and it can fog over. I've seen that happen, which is pretty bad. So, got the heater on in the house and I brought it upstairs here. Yesterday I put on the first finish, just kind of a very light coat. I did have a chance to go around and fill the edges with some putty. So those are all filled, all the voids that you saw in there, and I've sanded the whole thing around there, and I'm ready for the second coat of finish to go on right now. But the first thing I'm going to do, of course, after you put the first finish on there, the first coat, it's kind of brings up all the fibers, so it just makes it a little rough. So if I just take some 320, I'll just do very light sanding. And then I'm going to kind of bring it up with a tack cloth, then I'll be ready for my finish. And just kind of wipe it off with a towel to try to get up some of those little dust of the polyurethane that's on there, but the best thing is my hand. It really works the best. Alright, I think we're ready to go. I have a little finish station set up here, and you've seen me do this before. The brush has been cleaned out and nice and dry, and I just kind of get the bristles all relaxed. And then what we'll do is we'll give this a quick stir. So just with the screwdriver, I like to just stir this for a few seconds. Trying not to shake it, definitely not, because we don't want to get bubbles. So I think I'm just going to do another light coat. I want to make sure that it's really coated well. Just a very light coat, another one, and then probably the third or fourth coat I'll come back with a really heavy coat. But doing this in the bright sunshine allows me to see any kind of defects that are going on, and it really makes it easy to do the finish. And then just kind of smooth it out, the last few strokes here, and coat number 2, done.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
I think we're just about done with the finish. I put 3 coats of polyurethane on here. It feels really nice. I think it looks pretty good. I did the edges, sanded them, put another coat. So I think that's pretty cool too. I think we're ready to take this downstairs and assemble it to the base. All right, surf's up. So if you remember from a previous part of the video, I kind of had trouble figuring out where to put my nails for the drawing the ellipse. If you look at this, and this line is the original dimension 18 by 60 from the plan. You remember I made that 1 inch bigger all the way around. But if we just stick with that 18 by 60 dimension, I watched the This Old House video and I didn't really see how they put the nails, where they put the nails. And maybe I missed it, but I watched a different video, because how I located my nails is I just kind of did it guessing and moving it around. And I watched another video and they kind of showed how to do it, and it was pretty cool. So I kind of want to go over that right now. The theory is, if you take your major diameter, which is 60, cut that in half, which is 30, and then where your minor diameter meets with your dimension here, if you take that 30 inches, you put your tape measure on here, and you strike right at 30, that's where your nail is going to be. Let me show you that a little closer up. You can see here I have several nail holes that I've filled, and originally I just started, I didn't know where, I thought it didn't matter, but apparently it does matter. So I've got a lot of different holes there, and if you just take your tape measure and put it right on 30, it just about intersects right there with where I finally ended up putting the nail. So you can do that on each side, and that's how to get your nail hole locations to do your ellipse. So nothing left to do but put the base on the top. And it's surprising how light it is. The plan didn't really detail exactly where this base goes on here, so I'm just gonna center it up and put it in a location that looks right to me. And then I don't know, just kind of eyeball it with these. Nice, nice, baby. And there we go. And the last one, right here. There we go. All right. Let's remove the clamps. Right on. So that's 6 screws, putting it to the top. None of them are coming out. And I think this is the end of our project. I'm really happy with how it came out. I think it looks beautiful. I think the only thing left to do right now is go put it in place. All right, we can put this back where it's supposed to go. Okay, so something like this. Okay. Whew. Well, I want to thank Popular Woodworking for the plan. I think it's pretty neat. I think it came out nice. It's a nice piece. It's definitely really smooth, and I think it's going to be strong. So thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I had a great time making this, and we'll see you next time on Scott's Garage. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.